Hi, Henry's Baseball Club. We're going to have a, oops, I'm sorry, the table's a little loose. We're going to have a really great show. To my left is Tatiana Johnson, and then on my right we have the beautiful Maude Gorman, Miss Teen 2013. But she's 20 now, so...
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so...
climbing up there.
You're out there, okay. And on the end, he's been between jobs. He's looking for a job if you want to hire him, right?
Yeah.
Here's the guy who...
I'll do anything except wash dishes.
Okay. His name is Kenneth Gustin. So feel free to call me at 781-891-0621 if you want to hire him or any of these people. They have all kinds of good things that they can do for you. My guest tonight is the owner of the AA Fisher Cats, New Hampshire AA Fisher Cats, but he also has the Rock Cats in Connecticut, and he has a single A team in Kentucky, the Bowling Green Hot Rods. So let's get to our guest. He owns real estate properties. Trying to get to that. But DFC? DSF?
Yeah, DSF.
DSF, and they're on the web. Do you want to give people your website?
Yeah, it's the DSFgroup.com.
Right, but you also operate 3 minor league teams, right?
Correct.
Okay, do you want to tell us about the Fisher Cats? How did you end up with the Fisher Cats? Most people don't have 3 minor league teams. You're a rare person. So tell us how you ended up with 3 minor league teams.
I have been a baseball junkie since I was a young kid. And I lived in Connecticut, halfway between Fenway Park and Yankee Stadium. So I started going at age 6 to Major League Baseball games. And about 10 years ago, I belonged to a men's group in Boston, and we had, as a guest speaker, people who were in the business of selling baseball teams. And I couldn't afford anything more than a minor league team, so I ended up doing a lot of research. New Hampshire's a great place for all kinds of sports, and the hockey team was doing really well, and I talked to a lot of people in the business community, the media, the nonprofits, and so forth, and was persuaded it'd be a great place to own a team.
So the Fisher Cats, are they doing okay? I mean, are you happy? And I've been up there, and the place is fantastic. It's a beautiful field, and there's a hotel right in left field. So tell people maybe about some of the people maybe went through there, or even about that dinner that you have once a year. Any items, they don't know you. I know you, and okay. I know about all this stuff. But the people out there, let them know, because they don't know that they can meet Rico Petrocelli or Chris Carpenter, So this is the time.
Well, first of all, we have sent 66 players to the major leagues who've played for the Fisher Cats.
Okay. Anybody we would recognize?
Sure. Probably half of the Toronto Blue Jays team. From Adam Lynn playing first base, 3 of the pitchers for the team, their catcher of last year, the new catcher for the Mets, Travis DeArnaud. We have a catcher for Cleveland, Eric Katz, an outfielder for Pittsburgh, Travis Snyder. So we've sent 66 people to the majors. Very, very high quality baseball, incredibly competitive. It's great fun, and we have about 400,000 fans who come out a year. So once the snow finally melts, and let's hope it does that soon.
Right. How many people will it hold, the actual stadium?
Well,
and what about the fireworks? This is a real good time to.
Yeah, no, it's it's fun. We have seating capacity for 7,200. We have had as many as 8,500, particularly when we get a major league player from the Red Sox or the Blue Jays who comes and does rehab with us. And we have all kinds of fun things. We have, like the days of the week, we have Wacky Wednesdays. So we charge kids a percentage of what their weight is. So we do that. We do that on Wednesdays. Thursdays we have Thirsty Thursdays. You can get a beer for $1, and we have a lot of colleges around there who take great advantage of that.
$1 for a beer, fans.
Yeah, $1.
This is the guy to see.
That's right. but only when I'm up there, not during the week.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have all kinds of fun things, and we try to. Minor league baseball is all about affordable family entertainment. Our bat boy is a golden retriever dog. So when our players are at bat, the visiting team doesn't allow it, but player goes, hits the ball, drops the bat, golden retriever runs out, picks the bat up, brings it back to the dugout. So it's all about fun.
We need a dog like that on Sunday ball.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right.
So tell us about that Fisher Cats dinner.
When I bought the team, I went around and paid respect to people in the media, to political leaders, and so forth. And they told me that there was a long history in New Hampshire of a baseball dinner, that the former editor of the sports page was the main organizer, but after he retired, they stopped doing it. And he used to have people there like Ted Williams, Johnny Pesky, Dominic DiMaggio, and so forth.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, that would be great. We'll have this dinner, but all the money goes to charity.
Okay.
So the money goes for two major charities. One is every year we give out 12 college scholarships, both in Massachusetts and in New Hampshire. They have to be graduating seniors from high school, and they have to qualify on three different bases. One is good students, secondly, good athletes, and third, involved somehow in civic affairs, whether they active in their church, or they help out in the Boys and Girls Club, or anything that's really civic-minded. And the other money, so some of the money goes to scholarships, and all the rest of the money goes to the Children's Hospital up at Dartmouth.
Who are some of the players that you have for that dinner that people might recognize?
We've had Fred Lynn, we've had Rico Petrocelli, Louis Tiant, Chris Carpenter comes every year, Sam Fuld, who now plays for Tampa Bay, has been there.
Angelo Dundee?
Angelo Dundee has been there. Some of the former Bruins, some of the former Patriots players, sometimes active players.
Any basketball people?
I don't remember. I don't think our chairs are big enough. But we've had Daniel Nava has been there.
Oh yeah, Dan. I took a picture with him.
Saltamakia has been there, who's now with Miami, as you know.
Right.
So every year we have about 25 professional athletes, both retired players as well as active players.
Okay, it's your turn.
Well, I have heard that you have quite the dedication and community involvement in charitable work. What can you tell me about some of the organizations that you've fundraised for?
Okay, thanks for asking that, because as far as I'm concerned, what we do in the community is as important as what we do on the playing field.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were voted, of the 161 minor league teams in the country, we were voted the minor league team that does the most for the community.
Okay.
So we've done all kinds of things, if I can answer your question more directly. When a police officer was shot and killed, the police chief from Manchester called me, said, Art, there's not a church large enough to host the memorial. So we did that.
That's wonderful.
We support
they did
about...
that at your stadium?
Yeah, we did it at our stadium.
Okay.
And we
well,
called...
you have to make it clear.
Right, and we called all the vendors, and we said, you can't charge free water, free soda, free hot dogs. We had over 6,000 people who came.
6,000?
Yeah, for the memorial service.
Wow.
But we, there are probably about 250 different charities every year that we help out one way or another. So they're church groups, they're Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, Brownies, Little League, Babe Ruth League, elementary schools, hospitals, and so forth.
And I read that you were awarded the Larry McPhill Award in 2010. How did it feel receiving such an honor?
You know, I thought it was terrific, because I think it's very important, if you're lucky in life, to give back. And so we are very, very involved in the community. And as you mentioned, that's the highest award you can get in all of baseball in terms of community involvement. So I'm quite proud of that. As proud as I am of our winning the Eastern League 2 of the 9 years in which I've owned the team.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah. Do you think the Red Sox are going to win the World Series again this year?
Of course, of course. But they have to grow the beards back because I saw recently some interviews where they're playing down in Florida, and it looks like only Napoli has the full beard. Johnny Gomes shaved. I barely recognized him. David Ross, the catcher, shaved. So they have to grow it back again. The boys with the beard.
You like Fenway?
Yeah, love Fenway.
Speaking of the Red Sox, I heard that you were once a Yankees fan.
My God, that's not supposed to ever come out. I mean, but I'm reformed, though. I'm reformed.
Well, you found you out.
Yeah, my father was a Yankee fan, so until I knew better, I was a Yankee fan. No, I've been a Red Sox fan, and I've been living in the Boston area probably now for about 18 years. Oh, wow. It's very hard not to love the Red Sox.
I agree.
I'm from New York originally, too. What part of New York were you from?
No, I was originally from Connecticut.
Oh,
from Connecticut, from New Haven.
Oh, okay.
So New Haven was split between Yankee fans and Red Sox fans. Yeah. My father was a Yankee fan. You know, I forgave him for it later on in life, but.
Well, all I know about New Haven is that I pass it on the train when I get down to New York, so I don't know much about New Haven. So.
Best pizza in the country. Sally's and Pepe's.
Yeah. Now, I heard that there's a camp for children. Tell me more about that, because I have 4 boys.
Oh, yeah. Camp has become amazingly popular. The players for the Fisher Cats actually are the teachers in the camp.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we have kids from about 5 to 15. I think it's $99 for 4 days. And they instruction and everything in hitting and fielding, running the bases and so forth. So it's been immensely popular. We usually have about 150 kids each time we run the camp 3 or 4 times a year.
Okay. What are your goals for the future for the Fisher Cats? What haven't you achieved that you'd like to?
Well, every year I try to introduce something new. As I said before, when I talk about the Fisher Cats or any of the minor league teams, it's affordable family entertainment. All 3 words are important. Henry started off saying the highest price is $14, but the lowest price is $6. So we try to keep it very affordable. Baseball is the national pastime.
Okay.
And we want to make sure that everybody can come. People ask me sometimes, Art, how many times, you're a Red Sox fan, how many Red Sox games do you go to? I said, frankly, my wife only lets me refinance the house once every other year. You know,
That's for sure.
It's expensive. It's expensive. So to keep it affordable, to keep introducing more and more entertainment, we have 3 great mascots. You'll oftentimes, in minor league baseball, because you don't control the players, and the major league team that we're affiliated with can call the players up at any time. So we really promote the mascots. So you'll often see our mascots directing traffic after school, leading parades on the holidays. Kids will lean out of the car and say, "Hey, Fungo," who's one of our mascots, "I'll see you on Saturday." Or we have late innings. We have a mascot called the Rally Llama, but we only save him for the 8th and 9th inning.
Oh, that's cool.
So what about season tickets? I noticed you have something. I got your email today.
Terrific.
Just came out today.
Right.
It's got your phone number and it's got the location in New Hampshire. So it's a real good idea. 603-641-2005, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. So what's the future for the, you going to operate more teams? I mean, that's a lot of work for one guy to operate one team, much less 3. Is that in the works? I mean,
well, speak to my wife about it. Only if I'm willing to get divorced.
Oh, I see. So, okay. So
no, I think 3 teams is the limit. Is the limit. But you know, it's great. It's great fun, and the staff there is outstanding. And on a daily basis, they really run the team. I mean, I get involved in all the big decisions, the key staff, the budgets, some marketing ideas, meeting with some of the major sponsors and so forth. But the staff is just outstanding. We have a lot of great young people.
Between owning 3 teams, how did you have time to write your book, Marketing in the Minors, and what inspired you to do that?
You are a great researcher.
I am.
You
I have
really
his
are.
book, you know.
Yeah.
He autographed it.
Yeah.
Wow,
You ought to
awesome.
call him and say, hey, I want an autographed book
I do.
too.
I want one.
You know?
Well, you know, I wrote it for 2 reasons, really. One is there are thousands of books about what happens on the playing field.
Okay.
You know, what happens on the basketball court or the baseball diamond or the football gridiron. There are very, very few books written about what happens behind the scenes. What are the challenges that owners have to face? You know, how do you generate the kind of entertainment where people will keep coming back? How do you build the team's brand, which is important for anything, not just sports. So that was one reason. And the second reason is I have 8 grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
And they're all too young to really understand what goes on. And with the 3 teams, they're bound to inherit at least one of the teams. And it was my way to tell them about what it's like, you know, to own and manage a professional sports team.
How long did it take for you to write the book?
It took about a year.
Now, when you wrote the book, how much work did you do, like, each week? Did you a little bit at a time, or did you write a lot of it?
I tried to do a chapter a month.
Okay.
That was my. Because I'm busy, I try to be reasonably disciplined. So I had to do some research, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Now, did your career as a baseball player as a child in the little leagues, I heard you were a shortstop, did that contribute to your
This
dreams
is not
of
a major
owning?
league shortstop here. I'm sorry. He's a great guy and all that, but
Yeah.
Art will tell you that he loved it, but he was not a real good
Did
player.
that contribute to your dreams of owning a minor
Oh,
league team?
I've always loved baseball. It's always been my favorite sport. But my career peaked at age 12. I mean, frankly, I did make the All-Star team in Little League as a shortstop, but I not only couldn't hit a curveball, I couldn't even hit a slow pitch that well. So
Yeah.
it ended at age 12. And so my ownership clearly derives from my excitement about baseball. I'm still
You were
enthusiastic.
You're a big fan of Marv Thornberry.
I'm a big fan of a lot of great players. Yeah.
So, are there any other business ventures that you'll be looking into other than baseball and real estate in the future?
Well,
Or would
really,
that be a divorce too?
you've obviously been speaking to my wife. No, my major business really is real estate.
Okay.
We build and buy apartment buildings, mostly in the Mid-Atlantic area, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, New York metropolitan area, both in New Jersey and New York, and also in the Boston area. But I have a son who's running it increasingly, so he keeps me around. I
that
think
Jim?
out of the kindness.
Is his name Jim?
No, that's my other son who owns a restaurant in Brookline.
Oh,
No, it's
okay.
my son Josh.
Josh.
Who's the president of the company now.
Oh, very successful family.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So basically, you buy a building, rehab it, and then collect the rents.
Yeah, well, sometimes we build it from ground up.
Oh, I see.
Sometimes we buy the land,
So you're actually a
go through
builder.
the zoning and planning, and develop the building, you know, from the beginning all the way through.
Yeah. Now, what about the players when they make appearances? Do you have anything to do with that? I noticed over here a guy named Nolan, Kevin Nolan, leads a list of players who could get the call New Hampshire, possibly might be somewhere else. Do you get involved with the players in any way?
Sure. I mean, Kevin Nolan is the first player that we ever had who is a New Hampshire resident. And he was our shortstop last year, and just a terrific guy. Great ball player and a really terrific human being. Very involved in the community. So it was exciting, and I'm sure he's got a great future ahead of
so
him.
what personal appearances might they do, or how does that work, other than the dinner that I know about?
Well, they mostly for charitable causes. We try to visit the hospitals, and we go to a lot of different. The ball players go to a lot of different hospitals. Sometimes they go to elementary schools. We have a reading challenge where if kids read 4 books outside of what's assigned, they get 2 free tickets to a Fisher Cats game. We send them to senior citizen homes It's mostly for charity. It's mostly for charity. We none of that is commercial.
Yeah.
It's all help nonprofits.
Yeah, I wanted to show you a few baseball cards. This is somebody you might recognize. And this is Nolan Ryan. He autographed that for me. And he has a big collection of baseball cards. Tell me about what you got.
Well, I collected Hall of Fame plaque cards. The Baseball Hall of Fame has these plaques for each ball player that have been enshrined into the Hall of Fame. And every year they come out with plaque cards, and I had the ball players sign them. And I would send the plaque cards to the ball player, and then they would return it to my house with an autograph on it. So that's probably the most expensive cards that I have. And back in the late 70s, I collected rookie cards for about $3 or $4 a piece. And then I waited about 8 or 9 years and then sold the baseball cards for $300-400 each. So I made a lot of money off of it, and it paid for my driver's ed. So
That's great.
yeah, it's a big business. And I was a little bit upset because I went to a sports memorabilia convention a couple of years ago, and they didn't have any baseball cards. All they had was autographed paintings and stuff and pictures. And so I was a little disappointed with that. But it's still a pretty big, it's a pretty big market for memorabilia.
Okay, well, listen, at the Fisher Cats dinner, you pay $80 to go to the dinner, but you get one autograph from every player. So that's why it's a good idea to go up there if you want to get stuff autographed. They'll give you a list of the players that are going to be there. Really? Also, Jim Rice. You forgot Hall of Famer Jim Rice.
Jim Rice has been there, Rico Petrocelli.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity to meet these people in person.
Yeah,
So go to the Fisher Cats dinner.
Bob Stanley.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about Pete Rose? They just came out with a book about him. That should he be in the Hall of Fame? Shouldn't he be in the Hall of Fame? What do you think? Do you think he belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I have mixed feelings about it, quite frankly. He was a great ball player, and I don't know enough about what they accused him of cheating, so I don't really have the facts on it. A great ball player, terrific hustler, probably the most hits anyone has ever had. So I really don't know. I don't know enough, frankly, to have a final judgment. Fortunately, I don't have to vote on it.
What advice would you have for someone aspiring to own a baseball team? From little leagues to minor leagues to even major leagues, what would the most important thing you would say be?
Well, I think, you don't own, as you know, you don't own Little League teams or Babe Ruth League teams. But to own a professional team, I think you have to do the same kind of due diligence, the same kind of research you would do on any investment you would make. So we look at the population. We look for examples of their supporting sports teams. We look at the transportation routes. How easy is it to get to the ballpark? We look at the parking availability. If it's an existing team, we obviously look at their financial history. And we try to talk to people in the community. It's great. And people from a cross-section of the community, because baseball appeals to everybody. One of the things I always tell people is try to get 3 generations to go to the same movie. Doesn't happen. Get 3 generations to listen to the same music. Certainly difficult in my family, but 3 generations at a baseball game happens all the time.
Definitely.
It's great. So I would do that kind of analysis and due diligence first.
Who's your favorite Major League ball player?
Favorite all time? Probably Ted Williams.
Ted Williams. What'd you like about him?
One of the best hitters of all times. I also respect the fact that he interrupted his career as a patriot, to go to war. And I had immense respect for his doing that because it did affect his career. But one of the greatest pure hitters of all time.
Go ahead, Tatiana.
So I know it's difficult owning a business. I own one as well. It's really hard. But out of all the trials and tribulations that you went through, which one was most difficult that put you in the position that you are today? Meaning now that you're successful because you overcame that hurdle.
It's a tough question.
Yes.
I've been in business for a long time.
You got the panel working there.
I have. I've had a lot of trials and tribulations. I'll show you the scars sometimes. You know, I think everyone's different, and I don't think there's a secret formula for everybody. Everyone has to find their own passion, and I've always felt fortunate in that I was doing the things that I really like to do, and then I would do them if I didn't have to work, if I didn't get paid even.
True.
So I think in life, if you're lucky if you get up in the morning and it's something that you really want to do.
Exactly.
And so I've been really fortunate. You seem that way as well. So every day's a challenge.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
the program's only half an hour. I'd have to take
Yes, I know.
a few days to
That'll
go
need to be
through
continued
all the
next time.
trials and tribulations. Right.
Your son's restaurant, is that good food?
It's great food.
Do you want to promote it?
Sure.
I mean, it's up to you.
It's in Brookline. It's in Washington Square. It's on Beacon Street. It's called The Fireplace, and every year it gets voted the best of of home style cooking.
Yeah.
So it's great.
So
I'll
you've
make sure
eaten
to
there,
go.
and it was real good, right?
I've eaten there many times. Right.
Well,
Great fun.
that sounds great. What has been the most cherishable memory you've had owning the New Hampshire Fisher Cats?
Well, it's almost the first day that I went to a game. I actually, while I didn't officially own it till the end of the season, I did take over in the middle of the season. And the very first game I went to was I'd gone before, but the first time when it was announced I was going to be the owner. And it was during the summer, and it was camp season. And we had about 7,000 kids at the ballpark from camps from all over north central Massachusetts and New Hampshire. And the camps had the kids wear different color t-shirts so they can identify who their campers were. And I remember one of the reporters saying to me, "Art, why did you buy the team?" And I looked out and I said, there are 7,000 reasons out there, because they're smiling, they're having a ball, and that's what it's all about.
Okay, well, we're
Good
down
note
to the
to end
last
it on.
minute. My guest, I really appreciate your coming down, and Art Solomon, you've been great, as you
flies
have in
when
the
you're having
past.
fun.
You know, we'd love to go to your dinner. I wish you had it twice a year. I'd be up there twice a year. You know, when I first went up there, I didn't understand, and I'll bet you a lot of these fans don't understand. It's an opportunity to make famous people once a year. So get in touch with the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Their phone number is 603-641-2005. They have day tickets. They have season tickets. And this is Tatiana Johnson. And this is Maude Gorman. And on the end, he needs a job. So if you need him, give me a call.
I'll do anything but-
781-891-0621. He's an executive. So if you need somebody, just feel free to call me. Thank you very much for another show. Thank you.
Right.
Go ahead and wave.